Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Indiana Farm Boy. We are standing right where I buried my tile plow. Right here where this corn is growing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the experience that we had and the events that kind of unfolded. So one other contractor that came probably 10 years ago, and they tried to do some, and it just didn't work out for them. They couldn't get the trench to stay open with the trencher. It was falling in, collapsing, and it was unsafe to work. So we decided that we were gonna try to fix this. The farmer wanted to at least make it to where he could bush hog, not necessarily plant. That's was his goal, was to make it be able to be bush hogged. So we had in our heads that we could run a line along the base of the hill all the way around and go straight down next to a culvert pipe down here and kind of cut off the water as it was coming down the watershed towards the creek, to then be able to help dry it up. Well, I decided that I would pre-rip to see if I could actually pull the tile plow before we put tile in it. And I pre-ripped all of it. And we struggled a little bit, but it wasn't bad. So we thought, okay, we can actually put tile in. So I come back and we set up everything. We actually tiled and we made it and turned this corner. When I turned this corner, I got up on the hill and it kind of walked me down, and I slid down the hill into where I had pre-ripped before. So then my tires had nothing solid to have traction, and they started sinking. So as I'm trying to turn this corner, which is hard to do with a tile plow when you're turning, so it was causing even more force. I finally got around the corner, but I kept sinking and sinking. And eventually, I even got down to where my tires were bringing up clay chunks of clay tile. So that's how far down I started to get. And then it just got worse from there. Then next thing you know, my hood was getting all the way down. So then we decided to abandon cause and try and pull the tile plow out of the ground, ripping the tile, thinking we'll just come back and hook onto it and go from there. We really just wanted to get out at that point. So we took the mini excavator, put it behind me, tried to start pulling me backwards as I backed up. So now we're going in reverse. We did that, and it was getting late, it was getting dark. We were working in the dark at this point, just trying to get out. So then, before it got too crazy dark, I figured, okay, there's no way we're getting out of this tonight. I made it 10 foot back. We may have to get the Davis Towing out of Rushville to come pull us out, because it was that bad. Like, we didn't think we were gonna get it out. So I came around the front of the machine and dug a ditch to drain the water away from the machine overnight. And then I had Farmer Lowell come over and check it out and see what his thoughts were and whether he could bring his track hoe, his 220-ton track hoe over and pull me out if you think he'd get me out, so I could save the money on Davis Towing and pay him to do it a lot cheaper than what I could get tow truck here for. So that's what we ended up doing. The next morning he brought his excavator over. We brought it in here. We ended up pulling the plow backwards out pretty easily, actually. He pretty much hooked up and dragged me right back out. I mean, we were almost out the night before. We just didn't, the mini didn't have enough pull. So then while he was here, we decided, okay, while we have a track hoe here, we're gonna go ahead and put a few lines down here, about, I think we did 5, to that same main. Plus we had to fix all the holes. We dug, and we ran a tile. We continued the tile that had ripped. We dug it with the excavator, I don't know, another 100 or so feet in this hill, along this hill edge, to collect that water. So we did that, and we ran all those laterals, and it was muddy. So I came back about a month later, I think it was, and maybe not quite, 3 weeks, and I took the skid steer and tried to start filling in all the ruts. And I almost got the skid steer stuck probably 2-3 times. I brought the dozer blade, the bucket, and I spent a couple hours down here trying to clean it all up and make it work. And I got it that pretty far, and then it needed to sit. The day before, actually, we had got a little bit of rain, so I thought that might help break up the clods, because the clods get pretty hard when the ground was like sandy clay mix thing. It was like really dark and stuff, and like gravelly, so it wouldn't really, like, it was just this weird soil type, and I mean, it just turned to liquid when you drove on it. So we did all that, and then he ended up working it down kind of slowly but surely, just kind of reaching his wing of his field cultivator out, trying to knock it down. Then next thing, he just said he went for it, drove right through it, worked it all down. Then he planted it in corn.
Well, fuck, it's to my knees. Oh, it's almost to my balls. Oh, son of a bitch. It is waist deep out here. Yeah. The things I do for my kids. No shit, it's waist deep. My balls are wet. It's getting shallower now. I hope I got the right key.
I think that gives you I guess a value of how important tile is to the customer. I mean, this ground was basically, you can't even bush hog it, and now he's got crop on it, so he's able to make income off of it. He had investment money in it. Obviously, nothing's done for free, so I mean, he had to invest the money in it, but now he's going to get this crop for, I don't know, maybe the next 30 years. So it's going to pay for the money that he spent to have that done in the first place. So it doesn't take too long to pay, when before it was grass and unfarmable, and now you can farm. I want to say it's probably an acre and a half that he gained, maybe a little bit more. So it doesn't take too long when you're making money to pay that. And also, he doesn't have to bush hog it, doesn't have to worry about getting stuck in the bush hog, all these other things that are, you know, I guess expenses and time consuming that you have to do. So that all really worked out for the better. He's happy, I'm happy, and that's all you can say. And that's a great end to an amazing project.